Salutations one and all, and to one and all salutations. My name is Speedy of Terror Productions, welcoming you to episode 2 of Prime RID. Now then. Before we start the video, I recently saw on episode 1 of Prime RID, I had a comment from a YouTuber whose YouTube name I believe was Prototype NIC, or Prototype Nick, who said that he was surprised that I was still on YouTube and asked if I was still a brony. 1, don't be too surprised I'm still on YouTube, and 2, yes I am a brony. Deal with it. Anyways, moving on from that, today we are looking at this. What this is the 2013 Transformers Robots in Disguise Optimus Prime from the Transformers Prime toy line. Try saying that without losing your breath. Anyways, here is the figure. It is a leader class. Don't know if I previously mentioned that. Don't think I did. Watching the footage back will tell. Anyways, of course, another crib sheet. All the ratings are going to be a 5. Blah, 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 blah. Anyways, now then, starting off with the recommended retail price of this figure. When it was brand new, in the way back when of 2013, this figure would set you back £22.99. To be honest, I don't really know what to make of that recommended retail price. And I would be lying if I did. Which is why I have given the recommended retail price a rating of 2.5 out of 5. That's right, we're bringing decimal points into the equation. Yes. Might as well talk about his accessories while I've got him here. His first accessory is this sword, which has got a lot of moulded in detail, which is just pleading for some paint applications. So there's that. And he also has this massive, goofy gun. As you can see. It does light up. It does have a red LED. Right there. And the interesting thing about this gun was, when it was first released, it had a spring-loaded gimmick, where basically you took the trigger, held it down, held the gun in place, lit up the LED, so on and so forth. As soon as you let go of the trigger, the gun sprang back into position. Since then, however, I have removed the spring, it's just those two little screws right there. The gun then falls apart. The spring can be removed. Blah, 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 blah. Right. Before I discuss the articulation, let's do some robot mode height comparisons. Starting off with the Transformers Animated Voyager Class Optimus Prime. As you can see at the top of the head, Prime is about half a head shorter than Animated Prime, who I shall now just quickly get into his vehicle mode for the vehicle mode size comparisons. There is a beautiful thing with the Animated Prime. I'm not going to say what it is in this episode, but I will say it when the review is uploaded, because this figure will be appearing later on in Prime RID. Ow! The bloody waist gearing went again. Stay. Good. Done. And now for the other robot mode size comparison, a figure that is so big I've actually had to put him on the floor. Here he is, with Galaxy Force Convoy. Now some of you may be thinking, oh, what are you doing? Cybertron Optimus is a leader class figure, he's not a Voyager. In this state, he is a Voyager. It's only when he's in his super robot mode that he becomes a leader class figure. But as you can see, at the top of the head, Prime comes up to Galaxy Force Convoy's shoulder guard. So I shall just quickly get Galaxy Force Convoy into his vehicle mode. The whole thing is caving down. And back on the floor you go. Anyways, now onto the articulation of Prime. The head is on a ball joint, so he can look down, he can look up, or down and up, I will admit. And the head can also do a full 360. The shoulders are on a ball joint, so they too can do a full 360, and they can swivel outwards and inwards. The elbows are on two separate joints. They've got this joint here, which is just above the elbow on a mushroom joint, and then they have an actual elbow joint in the form of a pin joint. No waist articulation, which is a shame because looking at the figure, one could have been engineered in. The hips are on ball joints. They can go forwards, they can go back, and they can go out. There is also a thigh swivel, courtesy of a mushroom peg. There is a pin joint for the knee. And the ankles are on two separate joints. They have a pin joint for the transformation, and they also have a ball joint to move the foot proper. So there's that. Overall, the articulation gets a 4 of 5 from me. Now we get down to the transformation. It's a fairly interesting transformation. So let's get on with it. First off, you want to take the chest windows, squeeze them together, get your minds out of the gutter. Take the chest, you remove it, as so. Rotate the chest up, you take the arms, rotate them forwards. These two shoulder guards, they rotate back as well. They're on double hinge. They're on a double hinged arm. So there's that. You rotate the arms inward so that the bonnet is facing in. Fold in the hands. You rotate the arms in as so. And the way the arms rotate in is actually pretty interesting. It's actually a pretty interesting method. But this inner shoulder detailing here is on a pin joint. And then you just make that work in a coexistive state with the ball joint. Anyway, the arms are then held together by a friction tab. Come to the shoulder armour. There are these two little fins here that just rotate out. Shoulder armour then gets plugged together, and that forms the roof of the cab. I want to pull the entire cab section back, rotate the head, just stop about there, so that the backpack can come up, as so. Chest rotates down, pegs into place. I do apologise. And there you have the front of the truck. And for the feet, you rotate them on the ball joints, fold them in on the pin joints, and the top of the foot rests in this alcove here, as so. The legs then pegged together, they will form the trailer bed of the truck. The shin armour rotates up, the cab rotates down, then these side sections just rotate up. Oh, pardon me, as so. And there you have Prime in his vehicle mode. And then for the weapon storage, you take the sword, you take the handle of the gun, there's a hole in the top of the hilt. The handle for the gun goes into the hole, and then this post here on the back of the hilt plugs into the trailer hitch, on the truck. So yeah, there it is, and yes, it does roll. Obviously. Now, for the transformation, I have given it a 3.5, quoting in my notes that it is a fairly G1-esque transformation. which is only understandable because Transformers Prime was pretty much rammed up the arse with G1 Transformers references. Anyways, time for some vehicle mode height comparisons. Here he is once again next to animated Optimus. At the top of the cab, Prime is the taller of the two vehicles. And bumper to bumper, Prime is the longer of the two vehicles. It's just noticeable, as you can see. Anyways, now, here he is with Galaxy Force Convoy. As you can see, Prime is about the same height as Galaxy Force Convoy. However, yeah. Back on for you go. Overall, however, I give this figure a 3.5 of 5. Would I recommend picking it up? Maybe? That's not me being funny either, that's me being serious. This figure, I see it as a lot like Marmite. You either love it, or you hate it. Personally, I'm indifferent about this figure. I don't necessarily hate it, but at the same time, I don't necessarily love it. Despite that, however, it is better than the Age of Extinction Legends Optimus that we had a look at last week. I also want to apologise for the fact that this video is going up a day late. Family matters have been going on that I personally don't want to go into too much detail about. But nonetheless, until next week's episode of Prime RID, where we look at a fairly sizable Optimus Prime figure, this has been Speedy of Terrier Productions, saying thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next venture.